For buyers these days in a balanced market, you have a chance of being able to offer with protective legal conditions. A condition is a legal clause which, if not fulfilled, gives the buyer the option of withdrawing from a conditional sale with no legal or financial penalty. Condos especially, and to a lesser extent freehold listings, are experiencing less multiple offers. You might be the only buyer offering. Therefore, conditions in your offer will often be accepted by the seller. The three most common conditions are financing, status certificate reviewed by your lawyer if it's a condo, home inspection to be done if it's a freehold. What I want to cover for you today is a less common condition that I've used during this balance to buyer's market. It's the sell property first condition. There are typically two parts to this condition: stating the existing property address and the final date of expiration for this condition, and an escape clause for the seller. First, let's create some hypothetical roles in this scenario. We will call the seller of our property on MLS Fred the seller. Then the first offer will come from Chloe, the first buyer. The competing offer will arrive later from Tom, the second buyer. Let's start with Fred. He has a house to sell and it's on MLS. Offers anytime and it's a quiet market, so he's not expecting multiple offers coming in at the same time. Chloe, the first buyer, brings in an offer with her agent. There are no other offers, so her agent has placed in a condition: the sale of Chloe's existing property first before she can go firm on the purchase. She has placed the expiry date of that condition 30 days from acceptance of her offer. The reason Chloe offered before she sold her existing property is that Fred's property is ideal for her, and she wanted to get a conditional offer accepted, so she has first right of refusal on the property via that condition. While Fred the seller would have preferred a clean offer, obviously, which means no conditions, Chloe's offer is the only one in hand, and her offer price is acceptable. Fred signs the confirmation on Chloe's offer or APS. Chloe gets the deposit to Fred's brokerage the next business day, and Fred's listing is now sold conditional escape, SCE. Fred now has a conditional sale. Chloe now has her ideal property signed to a conditional agreement as long as she can sell her current property in 30 days. Other buyer agents will see that the status on Fred's MLS listing has changed from available to sold conditional. The tendency in the market is for other buyers to move on and look at other properties. However, another buyer can still offer on that sold conditional escape listing. Enter Tom, the second buyer to offer on Fred's listing. This property is also very ideal for him, and he's willing to put in a strong offer to get it. Tom has his buyer's agent write up an offer with no conditions, which is always very attractive to any seller. Fred the seller asks his listing agent not to reveal the price of the signed conditional offer from Chloe to other parties. Tom's price is slightly below Chloe's, but not significantly lower. At this stage, the second part of the condition kicks in. While Fred, the seller, finds Tom, the second buyer's offer compelling because it has no conditions, Fred can't simply accept this new offer. He's already committed to the first offer from Chloe. Due to the first right of refusal in the condition, which is essentially an escape clause, Fred's listing agent informs Chloe's buyer agent of the new offer from Tom. Chloe now has 24 hours to drop her condition, regardless of whether her existing property is sold, and go firm on the agreement. That is, Chloe becomes fully committed to buying Fred's listing. With this decision, Chloe goes firm on the deal with Fred. The status of the listing is now sold and no longer conditional. Tom, the second buyer's offer, cannot be accepted. There is a second scenario. Let's say Chloe really doesn't want to commit to the property until her existing property is sold. She has her agent inform Fred's agent that she can't go firm. In this case, it allows Fred to accept Tom, the second buyer's offer, which makes Chloe's offer null and void. Chloe gets her deposit back, and a deal continues firm with Tom instead. I've created this video during the winter of 2026. The market has been either a balanced market or maybe slightly a buyer's market for the last few years, and not a seller's market. This condition is by no means common, but there are a lot of properties that receive only one offer. So this condition has occurred a bit more in the current state of the market. Over the past 2 years, I've used it on behalf of my buyers, and in both cases, the deal eventually went firm. I would say this, as a buyer, if you're the only offer on the table, place in the conditions to protect yourself in this market. You still have a good chance of getting the deal done. This condition in a seller's market would almost never work. There would be too many competing offers. Typically, a seller would simply turn to a more attractive offer that has likely no conditions. Always consult with your agent and use this condition wisely. I'll see you next week.